everywhere you go, should women be allow their men to cheat? Should women this and that? What's wrong with, why are women so aggressive, so masculine? Why are men? It's just like, y'all don't have nothing else better to talk about? Seriously? By now, everybody has heard about the untimely demise of Mr. Kevin Samuels. I want to send prayers and condolences to his family, to his loved ones, and anybody who may have been connected to him in a positive way. Rest in peace, Mr. Samuels. I hope you're doing well in the afterlife. So I debated even making a video about this. I'm not a trendy guy. I don't like to ride waves and to hop on bandwagons. But this video is not so much about Mr. Samuels, it's more so about the manosphere and how we as men, how we should proceed. You know, how do we honor our women better? How do we become better for ourselves and our communities and our families? How do we do so with love and grace? And how do we not get caught up into the theatrics of this YouTube world? And how do we not get caught up in the noise and the drama? So how did I get introduced to Kevin Samuels and the manosphere in general? It was about 2018. I just graduated from grad school. I went to Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University, got my master's in management. To be completely honest, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And when interview season came up, all my classmates, they got the slick back hair, they got the suits on, they're trying to be consultants, they're trying to be this and that, investment bankers. I had no interest in any of it. I honestly had moved to Chicago because I wanted to do music and to do art and to do fitness. But there were no serious job prospects around. I wasn't really looking. I was kind of lost. I ended up stumbling upon this opportunity with a digital marketing company. My aunt was actually an executive at the company at the time, and she kind of got me an internship downtown Chicago. Cool, I have nothing else to do. Let's do it. The job started as an internship and it shifted to a full-time position after the summer. My first day at that job, I was looking for an exit plan. I knew it was not for me. I was sitting at a desk, I was doing crunching numbers, I was on Excel, I was doing Google Ads, I was doing a whole bunch of work that to me felt vapid and soulless. To me, it made no real impact on the world I lived in or I came from. The people who looked like me. Because of that, you know, over time, I lasted from, let's say, June 2018 till April of 2019. So not even a full year before I was gone from the job. Over time, as time went on and they got me doing these reports and I'm trying to be this good employee and they're bringing me to the office and asking,
we just don't know if your heart is in it. We know you can run this place one day if you wanted to, but you gotta have the passion.
And I'm telling them,
yeah, I want to be here, I want to do this.
I just want to keep my lights on, man. And it got to a point where I was so disconnected from who I was that I started to do things that weren't myself. I was drinking like 3 days a week, drinking full bottles of wine. And anybody knows me, I do not drink. I'm not a drinker. And even when I would indulge from time to time, it was on occasion, and it wasn't no full bottle of wine on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. I didn't recognize myself. And so around that time, I also got laid off the day I was writing my 2 weeks notice. It's a story for another day, but they laid me off, I think it was like April 15th, 2019, something like that. So now I'm lost, I'm unemployed, I have no money coming in, unemployment's taking a while to get to me, I'm asking my mom for money, I'm hustling, freelancing around Chicago. I'm in a low and vulnerable state. So at 24, 25, I was extremely lost. I felt low. I had a very vulnerable state. And I started to look for answers. How do I become a man? How do I become something that I've never really seen up close? But I want to become that because I know I have a responsibility to be something bigger than myself, but I just don't know how to get there. I look for books first. The Way of the Superior Man, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Alchemist. I get into Stoicism and Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And naturally, I'm in the media space. I'm a musician, I do this YouTube thing, and I wasn't necessarily doing it back then, but I always had interest in media. I look to YouTube now, it's like the next bastion, right? You just naturally end up over there. And one of the first videos I saw about manhood was by this random guy named Kevin Samuels, and it was called Things Your Father Should Have Taught You, or something like that. And there was another one called Reinvent Yourself. I'd never heard of him. It was a pretty small channel at the time, nothing like what it became over the years. But I found some community there. And I was, you know, you be in the comments and you'll find like-minded people who are just trying to level up and be better men. I remember being a kid, I didn't know how to tie a tie in high school, man. Like my coaches would tie my ties and, you know, just little things like that. What cologne should you be wearing? How do you groom yourself properly? How do you deal with women? How do you navigate this and that and business and finances? Things that I just never know. I was looking for answers. I also would study other ideologies and beliefs like Buddhism and Taoism and different religions and even dig more into Christianity and how that affected my life, and kind of get a broader understanding of my own religion, you know? So following my exposition to this random guy named Kevin Samuels talking about cologne and being a man and dressing well and not wearing Jordans, cutting your hair, whatever it was, now you start to get recommended all these other channels. You got your Steffes Coles, right? Coach Greg Adams and Corey Wayne and AMS, MJ Get Right and Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. All these different channels, Dr. BOA. And that's where you get trapped by the manosphere. And when I say trapped, I don't want to say it in a negative way, but you really do become indoctrinated into all these different beliefs, and it makes it very tough to get away from. So at the core of the manosphere is a very beautiful concept of, as a man, you have a responsibility to be your best self. Develop yourself, cultivate yourself, grow your skills, become a pillar in your community, be there for your family, have an upstanding nature. Do all of these things so that you can create the life that you want. They tell you to find a purpose and try to stay away from vain indulgences. Stay away from things like nasty videos and masturbation and unhealthy eating and avoiding fitness and dressing like a slob. Take care of yourself, get your money up, keep yourself well groomed, and boss up in every aspect of life. Something that a lot of young men, particularly those who grew up without fathers, need to hear. They've never been sat down and told these things. I love the idea that if you take full accountability, your life can look the way you want it to if you're willing to work for it and to dedicate yourself to it and to be disciplined. But the one topic that gets talked about and inherently obsessed over the most in the manosphere is women. How to build better relationships, how to stop being played and looked over and left and cheated on, and how to understand them, how to understand their nature. This is what most of these channels end up talking about at some point in time. Now, there's nothing wrong with talking about relationships between men and women. Life is relationships. I mean, we're complements for a reason. We're designed differently, but we're great together, way better than we are apart. And you know, you do think about the essence of life being relationship and companionship and community and building together and family. And the issue is the message often gets lost in bitterness. It often gets lost in anger, in unhealed wounds and trauma. And most of the time it ends up getting lost in the messenger themselves. Many men who are lost and they're trying to find purpose and direction and guidance, they almost find a spokesperson, if you will, to latch onto, like a superhero that can save them and remedy them of all their issues with women, all their issues in life and all their shortcomings. We know that's not the truth. That's not what's gonna happen. If you wanna change your life, you gotta change it, yo. You gotta make that change yourself. No content creator can change your life for you. I don't care how many times they validate what you believe. They can't change your life for you. And these men begin to exist in this echo chamber of confirmation bias that essentially kind of boils down to woman bad, man good. At the end of the day, under the veil of self-development and self-improvement and men's accountability is a group of men. They're almost like minions and drones, and they just follow this, whoever it is, they follow their word like religion. And any way to demonize women or to talk about how much women are messing up or how bad they are, it makes these men feel vindicated. To be honest, it's just the opposite side of the coin of everybody that says men are trash. I think both sides have unhealed wounds. I think both sides need therapy. I think both sides need love. Look, men and women, we come with our stuff. Truth be told, none of us ain't shit. Let's keep it a bean. We all come with our own stuff, and the bottom line is there are good women and good men in the world, like genuinely good men and good women, regardless of the trash and the basura that's out there trying to infiltrate our lives. Come on now. Accountability. But yo, to be honest, these men in these comment sections, they become weirdos, yo. I spoke about this in a video a while back, but if you go to a comment section of one of these red pill guys, right, what you'll often find is many men. Yo, you'll find so many men who sit in the comment section trying to validate and prove how alpha they are. And first of all, you gotta call yourself an alpha male? You're corny, bro. You a lame and a dweeb. I don't mean a name call, but that's just facts. You don't have to call yourself, if you are, you're gonna be that. You don't gotta call yourself that. But you go into the comment, right? In the section, you got these random 16-year-old kids. Man, this girl, she didn't text back for 3 hours, so I left her dumb ass on red. So yeah, I'm so alpha, I got a rotation, I got this, I got that. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Oh, my girl did it, so I left her. I told her I ain't scared to leave you. I told her she gotta be, if I cheat, she better. Like trying to prove how alpha, how dominant y'all are. Y'all just sound like assholes to keep it a buck that don't get women. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I know y'all struggle with women. That's where it comes from. Y'all bitter. And y'all are hooked on these videos like drugs. And I need you to wean yourself from the drug, bro. I care about you. Wean yourself. And it's crazy because the very men who claim to be so much about their purpose, and even in the comment sections you'll see it, I'm so about my purpose, I'm this and that. Yet every day, they either, for the creators, make videos about women, or for the viewers, they watch videos about women and what they're doing wrong. Hypergamy, female nature, all these other things. And it's an everyday topic that never rests. And to be honest, it's tired and it's old. So now where we are, in a place where it should be about men's improvement and development and just becoming the ultimate version of yourself, with the understanding that, yo, if I build myself into the best man, a part of that is me being the best father I can be if I'm a father, right? The best husband I can be if I'm a husband, the best brother, son, friend, community influence. However, over time, it truly has become a cesspool of complaints about modern women. Like, that's what I see the most. It's just complaining. Every day you got another dude complaining. And I won't say it never happens, but it is more rare that the leading men of the manosphere even work together. And they end up beefing with each other and doxing each other for views. And it's very weird for a bunch of masculine men, you know? As much as they talk about how women are overly emotional, a lot of these men are very overly emotional, and then they behave like little children on the internet. But they do it under the guise of being this ultimate alpha who doesn't take any shit. When it comes to Kevin Samuels, when I look at it objectively, I think he became a victim of his own virality. I think once that Average at Best video went viral, and before that, when he started to get away from the men's content and focus more on women, and once that video went viral, I think he doubled down. I think he doubled down on theatrics. I think he doubled down on showmanship. I think he doubled down on being a character. And being a musician and being somebody in the media, I understand how you have to become this character, almost this entity, if it's working, if it's making you money, if it's gaining you notoriety. I understand how you kind of have to fully dedicate yourself to that character, otherwise your business could be in jeopardy, right? But we also have to understand that what people's argument is that his business, his theatrics, his showmanship, his character was built on the backs of putting down black women, of demeaning black women, or just humbling black women, right? For a lot of those women, that's very, very hurtful. I remember seeing the Average at Best and some of the other videos in the beginning. By this time, I had stopped watching a lot of that stuff. But I was being reintroduced to this new manosphere, this new Kevin Samuels. Yeah, I thought it was very harsh. I thought it was pretty rude and disrespectful at times. So I had to, at first I just denounced it. Man, this is the worst thing in the world. I said, let me be objective and not judge a clip. So I watched the full broadcast, and I did see pure intention from time to time, right? You would hear him talk about get back with your ex-husband if y'all can work it out, you know what I mean? Because that kid needs a 2-parent household, or this is how you qualify for the kind of man or woman you want, things like that. But the message got so lost in the theatrics, man. It got so lost in the theatrics that now people are celebrating this man's demise, which is not cool. People have legitimate gripes with his content, and they say that his content was based on hate and disrespect and putting down our own women. And I can't disagree with that. Speaking, listening to black women and understanding where they come from, this is a valid critique that you have to accept for somebody who was very blunt, and we respected him being blunt. So we also have to respect other people being blunt and honest too. Although celebrating somebody's demise is not what we're in the business of. And I'll say this, I think many people weren't receptive to the message because he was blunt and very brash, I'm from Jersey, yo. We're all blunt, we all straightforward and get to the point, this, that, and the third. But I think Kevin definitely fell short in one aspect of communication, and that is knowing your audience and knowing how to tailor your message so that it's received by the audience. Because he was very well spoken, very articulate and able to speak well. But I think the theatrics, the salacious content, the sound effects, and all of these different things, it sullied his message, if you will, and it made the people who should have been listening with open ears, if his intent was genuine, it made them put their walls up and start to be defensive. And the issue is when these sound effects and the whipping noises and this, that,
I'm a PhD.
It really just satisfied the men, the bitter men who struggle with women, and really they get off and they gain some satisfaction by seeing women being humble. And it's the weirdest thing in the world, bro. I promise you. I don't think that he needed to coddle women or to coddle any adults, but I do think that the message could have been presented in a way that was more digestible and palatable so that it was received by the people who could listen and gain some value from it, This idea of developing yourself into the person the kind of person you would want. building yourself up before you think you qualify for whoever. I think that's a dope message and something that we all can learn from. But I think at times you gotta put the pill in the applesauce. Can't just run with daggers, you know? And somebody said something about, I don't know, apple juice versus vinegar or something, right? And somebody said, well, his content was battery acid. And I think that's what a lot of people's perspective is. It was the message, regardless what it was, many people did not receive it, though a lot of them did. Many people just had an issue with the delivery and the tone and how it was presented. And it didn't seem like it came from a place of love. With that being said, yo, if you're celebrating somebody's death, you're celebrating somebody's demise and the end of their life, I think that's extremely weird. I think it's classless. I think it's beneath any human being with dignity and basic respect and decency. You know, regardless how you feel about him. And to be honest, I don't know him. I didn't know him personally. Neither did probably 99% of y'all. Nobody knows him personally. So for me to speak on him as on a personal level, he was evil, he was this, he was that, I can't say that. I can give my perspective on the content I saw, but I can't speak on that man on a personal level. And you know what I really thought about is he got a family, yo. He's one thing, right? Feel how you feel about that man, but he has, apparently I think he has daughters, they say. He has a mother. He got probably cousins and friends and uncles and aunties, and for them to have to deal with that. He's moved on, he's in another life now, he's at peace, right? But his mother said she found out about it on social media. She found out her baby boy passed away. It's evil, man. His daughters gotta stay pops, man. They gotta deal with that. They gotta go around this earth and live with that now. And to get on the internet, imagine you get on the internet and your child passed away and you're seeing all this terrible stuff about him. To y'all, whatever he was, man, respect. You don't have to like anybody. You don't have to agree with anything he said or anything he talked about, but his mom, that's still her baby boy, man. You ever look at like a mother could be, her kid could be a murderer, right? Her kid could be whatever it is, and the kid has to be punished for what they did. They go to prison for life, whatever they do. But the mom still loves her baby, yo. She still carried that baby for 9 months. She still raised that boy and built him up. And I don't like seeing us punish those who are adjacent to a situation. His mom had nothing to do with his content. You know what I'm saying? His daughters or the rest of his family had nothing to do with how he presented himself, how he ran his content and his business, what he stood for, what he stood on, what he spoke for, what he spoke on. Let them grieve, man. Let them have peace. Let them have some type of solace. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't think you have to like him. I don't think you have to agree with anything he said. Once again, I don't know him personally, neither do you. Think about giving them love and giving them grace for somebody who just lost one of their loved ones. I wish people thought more about the family before they hopped on the internet and wrote some evil things about that man. But I'm praying for their healing, I'm praying for their peace and their love, and I just hope they can bounce back from this and continue to live life in a positive and healthy way. So where does the manosphere go from here? I don't know. Like I said, we're in this weird space where there's just so much content, and I don't know. To me, I'm tired. It's tiring, yo. It's exhausting. Everybody's talking about relationships, but it's not even that everybody's talking about relationships. They're talking about them in the same ways. It's like everywhere you go, should women be allow their men to cheat? Should women this and that? What's wrong with, why are women so aggressive, so masculine? Why are men? It's just like, y'all don't have nothing else better to talk about? Seriously? I think there's value in some of the content. We talk about fitness and business and building yourself up and things like that. It's beautiful, but all this focus on women and relationships, I think you should live life. I think you should explore real life. I think you should talk to real women in real life. Go love, bro. Go laugh, go hurt, go cry. Go make mistakes. Go do your thing, but don't look to the internet for answers. Don't look to some random YouTubers for answers, yo. That's where you start to mess up. No red pill YouTuber has the answer. Fresh and Fit don't have no answers, bro. Steph is Cold don't have no answers. AMS don't have no answers. The answer starts in here and up there. Talk to God, listen to God, be a man of your word, move with integrity. Son, it'll work out for itself. You don't need to look to YouTube and be in the comment section for answers. I know none of us are perfect and we just all want to do this thing the best way we can, but I think right now we need to focus on healing and love and remind ourselves that, you know, to build up the black man does not mean we have to tear down the black woman. And to hold women accountable, to hold ourselves accountable, it doesn't mean you have to disrespect. It doesn't mean you have to demean. It doesn't mean you have to tear down, to slander, to ostracize. We can do it out of love too, you know? We can do it out of love. And I think when we do that and we understand that men and women, black men, black women are still at odds and we still have so much beef, which is the worst thing in the world because we need each other. And I think when we remember that we need each other, I think we'll start to bounce back and to build communities and families the way we should and the way we always were supposed to. That's all I got for y'all, man. I love you all, and Godspeed.